What's going on, everybody? I am in Orange Beach, Alabama. I had a blast staying with Arsenault and hanging out with everybody in Louisiana there that I met at Born Free, Texas. Really enjoyed that. Super thankful to have met them and had that experience. But you know, I can't stay in one place for too long. So I had to roll on, keep making my way towards Key West. And my first stop in Florida is gonna be the FLORA-BAMA Bar. I told you I'm in Orange Beach, Alabama, because I am, but behind me is the FLORA-BAMA Bar, and that is in Perdido Key, Florida. I've had so many people recommend it to me that I gotta see it, so here I am. I'm gonna check it out, show you guys, see what it's about. I just rolled into camp here at the KOA, getting ready to set up the tent. But before I do that, I got to show you guys what's just a short walk from my campsite. From my experiences at KOAs earlier in my trip, I really have not become a fan of them. Just kind of a lot of money for campsites, talking about 50, 60 bucks for primitive campsites or electric even. Either way, that's still too much in my opinion, because you're paying for the pool, hot tub, things like that, things I don't use. So I try to stay at cheaper ones, but I found this one out here and I needed a place to stay. I found a $30 campsite, and it turns out somebody was there randomly, so they upgraded me to one that was electric, so I got a good deal there. This is right on beautiful Perdido Bay, right behind me. There's the bridge that I rode over. So the Pensacola West Gulf Shores KOA gets my stamp of approval. Definitely would come back here, nice and quiet, right on the water. FLORA-BAMA is right there, 20 minutes away. You can't beat it. Back at the camp and getting ready to set up a tent, figured we could talk about the FLORA-BAMA Bar before I do that. And it was highly recommended. Multiple people said, check out FLORA-BAMA Bar, you gotta check it out, this, that, check it out, check it out. So okay, I did, and it was a cool bar. Definitely cool. It was big, it's right on the water, live music venues all throughout, different bars all throughout. I got a fried shrimp platter, and that was pretty good. Definitely enjoyed that. A little pricey, but of course it's gonna be, but it was a cool bar. I mean, the only thing that really got me was kind of felt like a 55 and over club. I mean, maybe that's just all Florida. I haven't really done a whole lot of Florida adventuring myself, so I don't know. Just everybody seemed kind of old there, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all, but just observation. I'm sure it gets a little more young as the night goes on, and I'm probably not going to check that out because I'm not going to go out there and have too much fun, jump on the bike, head back to camp here like that. So anyway, cool place, definitely worth the stop if you're coming through. I do recommend it. I didn't really live up to the hype, but it is no doubt a cool bar. Would love to come back with friends and hang out there for real, do it right. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. I did about 320 miles from Arsenault's house to the FLORA-BAMA Bar, and then probably about 5 miles to the KOA Pensacola West Gulf Shores. Solid day. I'm probably just going to hang out here at the KOA campground, do some editing. I still got to set up my tent, but that won't take long. And tomorrow is going to be exciting because we are going to check out the National Naval Aviation Museum, which is sure to be great. guarantee that. And then just keep rolling along the Gulf of Mexico, making our way to Key West. Good morning, everyone. It is a gorgeous day here in Lillian, Alabama. And just over the border into Florida is the National Naval Aviation Museum. That'll be our next stop. And I was looking at packing up, headed out from there, making some more way down towards the Keys. But I said, you know what? I gotta do this museum right. I gotta take my time and enjoy it. So I talked to the kind people at the KOA. They were nice enough to give me another night at my discounted rate. So we're gonna stay here one more night, do the museum the right way, and tomorrow we'll be focused on travel. But before we do all that, I'm gonna load up the bike, go over to the Waffle House, grab me a bite to eat. The National Naval Aviation Museum. If you didn't know, I spent 4 years in the United States Air Force working on F-16 engines. So I love aviation, I love the military. This is something I've really been looking forward to. I've seen the United States Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio, and that was a blast. I'm sure this is gonna be incredible. Let's go inside, check it out. This SBD-2 Dauntless dive bomber has an incredible history behind it. It was on site at Ford Island December 7th, 1941, when Japanese bombs began raining down on the island. It is also the only known survivor of the Battle of the Midway, where it landed with only one operable wheel of its landing gear. It crashed into Lake Michigan in June of 1943, where it was being used as a part of the carrier qualification unit, and it took over 70,000 hours to restore it using period correct parts. This is a MiG-21. It's one of the most widely produced fighter aircraft in history, having been over 6,000 built. It was used by over 40 nations, including the Iraqi Air Force, in which this one is styled as. They used it in their war against Iran and in the Gulf War. Right next door is the FA-18C Hornet, which shot down 2 MiGs January 17th, 1991, the first day of Operation Desert Storm. This is the legendary Grumman F-14 Tomcat. It's a supersonic, twin-engine, twin-tail, all-weather capable, varial swept-wing fighter aircraft. It was in service for exactly 32 years and flown by Maverick in the 1986 movie Top Gun. So I'm here at the United States Naval Aviation Hall of Honor, and I stumbled across a plaque for Glenn H. Curtiss. As you know, I visited the Curtiss Museum in Hammondsport, New York, where there's all kinds of vintage motorcycles and aircraft, and here he is again on the Wall of Honor. If you haven't seen that video, just flip on back. I went to Niagara Falls, the Curtiss Museum. It's a great video. Check that out as well. That is going to wrap up my time here at the National Naval Aviation Museum. One of the highlights for me was learning about the USS Sable and the USS Wolverine, which started life as luxury steamers but were modified to be aircraft carriers, and they were both at the Navy Pier in Chicago, and they trained over 17,000 pilots from 1943 to 1945. Some of the aircraft in the museum were recovered from Lake Michigan and restored, including that SBD-2 Dauntless.